What is up, ninjas? Kevin David with That Lifestyle Ninja, and today we are going to talk over exactly how to find home run products to sell in Q4 on Amazon FBA, and we are going to go over the brand new top secret best 3 ways to do product research for Amazon FBA. And trust me guys, you have never seen these before and they're going to be good, so stay tuned. What is up, ninjas? We have a very good one for you today. We're going to be doing product research going into 2018, the brand new, never before seen or released product research strategies that I've personally been using to find incredibly profitable products. So what we're looking at right here is lists of the best 10,000 selling products in a specific category on Amazon FBA. And so what I mean by that, guys, is for the baby category, these products right here are the best sellers based on sales velocity. So these are the best 8,930 selling products in the baby category on Amazon FBA. And that's very exciting. I've never before released this, and we do have more than just baby. These, in my experience, are the most profitable Amazon FBA categories to do product research in, and thus, find products to sell in those categories on Amazon FBA. So we're going to look at baby really quick, but we also have beauty, home improvement, industrial, kitchen, lawn and garden, office products, pet, tools, and toys that we can also take a look at. And these lists are not available to the public, but we will be sharing them down in the description. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and download them. I have used these specific lists to find a ton of super profitable products in the past. All you really have to do is know how to manipulate the data in a way to really hone down on which of these products to actually take a look at. And that's what we're going to do right now. So excuse me, we see the item name here, right? So these are the names of the products themselves, but we want to actually narrow this down a little bit. So average review rating. So we want the review rating to have some room for improvement, right? So we want this to be less than, let's say, 4.01. So now only 4 out of 5 star ratings are going to show, which means that there's some room for improvement. We can take a look at some of the negative reviews on the products that we are actually taking a look at to see if we can add value in some way. What we also are going to take a look at, and very importantly, is the total number of offers. So the total number of offers basically means how many different people are, offering that same product on a listing. You don't want 100 different people, 100 different hijackers on one listing. So we're going to go ahead and do less than 10, just really quickly to narrow it down. And we can take a look at how many we have left afterwards. But I want to narrow down a few things just to begin with. So again, probably the most important factor here, guys, is customer review count. So we're going to take a look at this one. We're going to go less than, let's do 51 for now, just to see what happens. So now we went down, from what we started to 784. So, almost 9,000 down to 784. I want to take it down a little bit further though. So let's take a look at minimum price. So minimum price, what this is obviously what it sounds like, the minimum price the anyone who is actually offering that product on the listing is selling it for. And so we don't want this to be too low, because as you know, if you do have experience with Amazon FBA or follow any of my stuff, kind of the lowest price that you can sell a product profitably for on Amazon FBA is in the $13, $15, $18 range. And so we are going to make sure that this is greater than, let's do $12.98. So the minimum price, that means no products are going to show up that are less than $12.98. And the reason we're doing $12.98 instead of $13, right, is we want to try to be one step ahead of the people who are one step ahead, right? So some people might put 13, but that's what everyone's putting, right? And so some smart people might put $12.99 to show a few more products than the people who put 13. We're one step ahead of the people who are one step ahead of those people, right? Because we're going to put $12.98, which means we are going to see a few products that slip through the cracks that other people are not going to see. So now we started out with around 9,000 and we're down to 350, right? So these are ordered based off sales velocity. So the ones that are higher in this list numerically are the ones that have the best sales. So now we're going to take a look at some of these products. And how we do that is just copy and paste the actual item name. And we see immediately that this has 109 reviews, right? So this is by Newbie, right? So when this list was generated, this product had, let's take a look, 18 reviews, and now they have 109, right? So they were either doing review campaigns or, really focusing on that, or, maybe they got a ton of natural reviews because people were just loving the product. So let's take a look at what Jungle Scout has to say about this product. right? So these are pretty good numbers. So we see, you know, a number of different 10,000 or so with about 100 reviews, right? We see a lot of reviews on this one, but not a terrible, you know, very first product to take a look at, right? I always try to do this live for you guys so I can talk through, you know, what I'm seeing, what I'm looking for, and things like that. So, you know, not every single one I find is going to be a home run. I could, you know, like a lot of other people out there, just like plan it all ahead and stuff like that, but it's just much more fake. I want to try to actually show you really in real time, you know, how product research is actually done. So we're going to take a look at their actual storefront because they had some interesting products. So maybe we could actually find, you know, maybe a diamond in the rough or something by running Jungle Scout on their actual storefront itself. And if you didn't see that, I basically just clicked where it said newbie, the link on any of their product listings. You can find it in a similar way. So we see that they have some pretty reasonable stuff here. They do have a lot of reviews. Excuse me, all of us, you know, they do have a pretty wide range of products, obviously all in the baby niche. And so, you know, it's not too bad, but we do see, you know, pretty high reviews. Some of this obviously is doable, but this product price is a little bit too low. You know, we're looking more in the 13 and above. So we're going to move on. But, you know, it could have been a good one. So it's kind of how product research goes. Modella, for people who follow my channel, I now know what Modella is, so I didn't know before. I don't have many babies in my life, but I now know what Modella is, so thank you all so much for commenting on my last video. So again, you know, these guys have a ton of reviews, probably not something that we would want to get into. Modella is a large company, I now know, so we are going to move on to the next one without too much time spent there. So these square trades, these are just warranties. So let's take a look at Dr. Brown's. So we do see some reasonable stuff here, right? Good price points. Obviously some room for improvement as far as reviews are concerned. So let's go ahead and run Jungle Scout. And these are definitely much more what we were wanting to see, right? So we're seeing Dr. Brown's bottle 3-pack. Can be used with or without a vent, right? But here we go, right? So 44 reviews with 16,000, 39 with 12,000, 96 with 3. Not necessarily what we want, but you know, there's a number of different things in here that we could actually take a look at and, you know, potentially follow up on. So we're gonna go ahead and save that one and open up a new window to take a look at more products. Let's get organized. It's always good to stay organized with your windows. All right, Boppy nursing pillow and positioner. See, so I don't know much about babies, but you know, this one looks looks relatively interesting, right? So we do see, you know, this is the numbers that we're trying to see, right? So 58,000 with 84 reviews is absolutely incredible. 26,000 with 3 reviews, 20,000 with 58. So you know, we're seeing a lot of very good numbers here. And we will talk about some of the new features that Jungle Scout does have, right? The opportunity score basically evaluates the overall kind of competitive landscape of your Jungle Scout Chrome extension query. We are also going to talk about the associated keywords, how to use these keywords to find home run products as well. But we are going to talk about that a little bit down the line, so don't go anywhere. So again, this is a great one. So we're going to save this one as well, and we'll look for one more just while we're on baby. But again, guys, so I mean, it took us 5 minutes, right, to narrow down this list of the 10,000 best-selling products in the baby category based off sales velocity. It took us about 5 minutes to narrow this down with a few, you know, filters, and all of a sudden, we found 2 really interesting products, right? So we're gonna skip over. The reason I skipped over these 2 is because it's Modella. Modella is a large company. If you don't know, I'm sure people would be happy to point it out to you. So this product looks like it has 498 reviews, which is interesting because when we pulled this, they had 17, right? So they've gotten, you know, 460 reviews in a very short time, which means that they're probably absolutely pumping money into this overall campaign, and you know, for good reason, because there's a huge amount of revenue in this niche, right? So diaper bag multifunctional, waterproof, high demand, but again, high competition. This is probably one that I would personally stay away from, just because, you know, if they're getting that number of reviews in such a short time, it probably means that they're somewhat of a larger company that has pretty unlimited budgets as far as, you know, going about getting reviews in less than legitimate ways. So let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So diaper decor plus diaper pail liner refills biodegradable. Some diaper pail. And this is more what we're looking for, right? 32 reviews here, so not necessarily too crazy. But again, here we go. So this is a very interesting one. So we see, very low reviews with 6,000 in revenue, not necessarily what we're wanting to see, but here we go, right? So the 2 count, 1184, a little bit lower on the price, but we can make it work if it has a very low cost of goods and a low shipping per unit cost, which we would have to calculate when we're doing our profitability analysis anyways. So again, 32 reviews here with $53,000 in revenue. We see some huge revenue numbers, 107, right, 12,000. This is definitely one that I would want to take a look at. 30,000 with 56 reviews, right, 10,000 with 37. Definitely one that is, again, interesting. So these are 3 products that we found literally in 10 minutes. And again, that was all 100% live, and I don't know a single thing about babies. And so that is the power of using these lists of the 10,000 best-selling products, guys. And that was only one of these lists, right? So we also have beauty with the top 10,000, home improvement top 10,000, right? Lawn top 10,000, kitchen, one of the probably the most profitable overall niche in the Amazon FBA world. We have the top 10,000 best-selling products by sales velocity, and we can narrow these down very easily in Excel with a few simple filters, exactly how I showed you guys, to find home run products. So that is my secret weapon, guys. I've shared it for the very first time. If you are interested in downloading these lists, we will have the link in the description for the top 10,000 best sellers. So one of the next things that we want to do, guys, is just make sure that it's not a one-off case. And what I mean by that, and what I tell all of my students, over and over again with the 6 steps of product research, is you don't want to just find one product that looks really great on Amazon, or excuse me, on Jungle Scout, and assume that the overall landscape of that product is going to be, just as ripe. And so what we want to do here is we want to find the actual main keywords here. So Dr. Brown's is a brand, right? So this doesn't necessarily reflect the landscape of the overall, keywords people would be searching to find this product. And so I'll illustrate what I mean by that right now. So we are going to, so I don't know, let me take a quick look. Options. So let's erase the brand name, right? Okay, but this is still bringing up 100%. So let's just do 3-piece wide neck glass bottles. All right, so now let's run Jungle Scout. So we do see, first of all, a headline ad, which is a good sign. People are profiting off PPC, right? We see a sponsored ad up here, which is, again, a good sign. So let's run Jungle Scout on this overall niche. So we do see Dr. Brown's, right? This is the one that caught our eye, 16,000 with only 44 reviews. We do see a number of other, enticing ones, 13,000. Again, a little bit high on the reviews here with 164. But, this, again, doesn't look that as enticing as just looking at Dr. Brown. So it's important here to take a look at the overall niche. So let's take a look at the next one we did. Boppy Nursing Pillow and Positioner. So let's take the brand name out. Right, let's take the style out and just put nursing pillow and positioner. Right, and so then let's run Jungle Scout on just nursing pillow and positioner. And see, we see other brands here now, which is a better reflection of the overall competitive landscape. And let's take a look. So we see a couple with high reviews, but again, here we go. So 7,000, 37, 60,000 with 84. These are absolutely fantastic numbers. Almost all the way down the board with a few exceptions. So this is a very prime niche that we wouldn't have been able to necessarily tell unless we had looked at the overall landscape rather than the one product that we found in our product research. So let's do it one more time. So diaper decor plus, what's the name of the brand? So I would assume that diaper pail liner refills, biodegradable. Oops, biodegradable. So I think that would be the actual main, the main keyword that people would be searching to find these actual products. So this is the product that we found, right? The 53,000 with 32 reviews, but we do see a little bit light revenue here. These are some okay numbers, 100,000. We do see, some crazy revenue numbers, but again, with a little bit higher of reviews, 67,000 with 4 reviews is absolutely insane. So again, we do see some good numbers here. Medium demand with low competition. So out of these three, I think I would immediately, discount this one, and we'll just take one last look just to kind of cement it home for everyone. So how we actually went about doing this is, instead of searching Dr. Brown's, which does have this one nice listing, we actually took out the brand name, made it more generic, and targeted the highest volume search term. So now we see a bunch of hundreds, 300, some very weak revenue numbers, and so it is not a niche that we would want to get into. So we are going to go ahead and close this one out, and we are going to focus on these two. So the nursing pillow and positioner, and the diaper pail liner refills. And so these are two products that we found in about 6 minutes, using the top 10,000 best-selling products that I will for the very first time share with you guys. And so you can see truly the power. I think a lot of you guys are realizing how quickly you can find these amazing products, and you can look at their stores, and you're doing this all with a few simple filters in Excel. And so I have a quiz for you guys, right? So before you look to the end of the video, right, you have to make a guess right now, which is going to be the better product to sell. Are we going to go with the nursing pillow, or are we going to go with the diaper pail liner refills? And I will reveal this at the end of the video, guys, so nobody cheat, right? Choose right now, pause the video, throw a comment below in the comments. Tell me which is going to be the better product to sell. Is it going to be the nursing pillow, or is it going to be the liner refill? So don't cheat. Throw a comment down below and tell me, and I will reveal at the end of the video exactly how to tell which of these products is going to be the bigger home run. All right, guys, so let's move on to the next topic that we are going to discuss as far as brand new product research methods for Amazon FBA. But before we do, I just want to note, and again, reiterate incredibly how important and valuable these are. Literally, we looked at just one of the top 10 most profitable categories on Amazon FBA, and every single one of these 10 different Excel sheets has, 10,000 products that have been identified as the best sellers in the most profitable categories on Amazon FBA. And with a very simple filter, you guys can narrow that down to find a ton of products. So let's move on. We're going to take one of these, and we're going to look at some of the new Jungle Scout features. So let's take a look at this specific one. We're going to run Jungle Scout here, and we're going to try to run it again. So here we go. So some of the new features that we do see here are the opportunity score, which again we have to do on the page itself because it's looking at the entire ecosystem rather than a specific product. So that was my mistake. So we're seeing a ton of revenue here with not a ton of reviews. So if the opportunity score is, so here we go, high demand with medium competition. So it's giving us a 6. In my experience, the highest score that you can ever get on this is an 8. It might be possible to get a 10 or a 9. I've never personally seen it, and I've seen hugely profitable, product prospects at, anywhere from a 6, 7, or an 8. So as long as I see a 6, 7, or 8, I'm really not that concerned. Generally, you are looking for green, but if you use your brain here, right, you can see that there is, a ton of room in this specific niche as far as, reviews are not all 5s, not many reviews at all with a ton of revenue. So the next thing that we want to look at is, associated keywords. So the word cloud has a couple of cool, uses. So you can see just by looking that it tells you, similar to how word cloud works, which ones are the most popular. Again, it reiterates that down here, top keywords. You can download this word cloud to Excel, which is cool because you can actually use these for PPC. And if you are one of my students, you can use these, have Jungle Scout do the heavy lifting for you in a low bid campaign. And if you are one of my students, or you do follow some of the stuff that I do on YouTube, you know that the low bid PPC campaign is by far the most profitable way to run PPC and to find those long tail keywords you never would otherwise find by using the broad match low bid campaign that I do teach. So you can download these, use them in PPC, but another cool way that you can do it is just look at the actual words themselves, right? So pillow, nursing, positioner. So let's take a look at positioner, because positioner has 19. Pillow is a little bit not related to this specific niche. Nursing, again, could have a lot of different meanings. Breathable, boppy positioner. So this is a brand word. Breathable is another one that could, be related to clothing. So the most relevant to this niche and also the most, commonly appearing is positioner. So what we're going to do here is we are going to actually type this in to merchant words. And so what merchant words is it's basically an aggregator of keywords, and it gives you an estimated monthly search volume for those keywords. And so we're going to use this in slightly different ways. So we're going to actually do product research with merchant words rather than doing keyword research. And so let me repeat that just so everyone's kind of clear on it. Normally merchant words, you're trying to find keywords to run PPC or to put into your backend keywords, or to put into your title, or your bullets or things like that. We're going to do it in a slightly different way. So we found the most popular word that was most related to this specific niche, which is positioner. Then we plugged it into merchant words. Now we're seeing the suffixes and prefixes that merchant words is finding based on thousands of searches monthly to give us permutations of the word positioner. So we see sleep positioner, we see baby positioner, infant positioner. So we want to see multiple keywords if we're going to go into a niche, because we want to be able to actually advertise on PPC for these specific keywords. If it's something like an anglized ruler, right, there's not many ways that you can say anglized ruler. You could say sleep positioner in a bunch of different ways. You could say, something to position your baby for sleep, or sleep baby, angler, or, any number of things. You want to see multiple different ways to target your keywords. And the second thing that you can see from this is that we can see that maybe there's other things that we could actually find here. So again, perfect example, car seat positioner. So this is a completely different product that you design in a different way to actually position your baby in the car rather than at the house. So this, again, immediately we found a second product that we could then go onto Amazon and type in car seat positioner. So let's do that really quick. And I have no idea if this is going to be a good one because I'm doing this all live, but we'll see. So car seat positioner. So we do see a couple of things here. Let's see what Jungle Sky has to say. Excuse me. So here we go. Not as crazy a volume as the positioner in the home, but we do see some interesting stuff. We see a seat belt adjuster, which is a totally different area. We see a 7 out of 10 or out of 8 potentially, and we see some stuff that's definitely interesting. 2-piece baby head support. Right, so these are new products that we never ever would have been able to find, unless we use this kind of merchant words product research hack. So we found car seat positioner, and then all of a sudden when we type that in, we found a baby head support pram, stroller safety seat fastening belt. Right, so support head strap for babies, and these are products that we can now go down further and further down the rabbit hole to explore these new options, and the way that we were able to find that, right, is through the merchant words product research hack. So again, for summer, maybe it's a wrist positioner, sleep positioner wedge, right? So maybe we're looking at the wedges rather than the overall positioner. So again, we found some really cool products using this, and I've used merchant words with single words that are most relevant to niches that I've identified as being interesting. Just that single word into merchant words and see what permutations that merchant words brings you back, so you can do further product research. All right, guys. The next thing that I want to talk about is shut up and take my money. So a lot of you have probably heard about this. It kind of originated from a meme from Fry from Futurama. So somebody capitalized on this and made a website from it in a very intelligent way, and where basically all they do here is just take products from Amazon that they think are funny or interesting, advertise on Facebook, bring people here, and then earn affiliate commission. So they're not actually selling any of these products themselves. As we can see here, their affiliate tag is right here. So every time somebody buys this product through their affiliate link, which we can see right here, this guy makes 10% of the money. So he's making like $3 per. So that's not what that's not what we want to talk about though. What we do want to talk about is how you can use websites like this to do product research. So maybe you find a website or a product here. Some of these things are small. And interesting, I've seen this specific product on Amazon, a bag of unicorn farts. Maybe you could make it like a bag of fairy farts or a bag of Donald Trump farts, or something polar that people could give as a gag gift to people who feel very strongly about a specific subject. So just kind of the hardest part about product research for a lot of people is just getting kind of stuck at the beginning. So never, never, never let yourself get stuck. There's always so much, motivation and inspiration for you available. Sometimes you just have to know, where to look. So this is an interesting one, like a werewolf dog muzzle, right? A Pokeball pizza cutter, just a lot of different things that you'd never really think about, right? A Death Star toaster that makes a, toast in the form of a TIE fighter, which is amazing. Right, and I do product research like this all the time. Life-size dancing baby Groot. I've seen a baby Groot that sells on Amazon that's kind of like a solar dancer that you put in your car that sells absolutely ridiculous numbers. Right, so there's a lot of just stuff that you can take a look at here to get inspiration and to create your own little creative twist, or you can find kind of a hole where it's not on Amazon and it is selling well here. And if you are curious about whether or not it's selling, you can, take a look at Google Trends, type in Snorlax slippers on Google's Trends. You could type in Snorlax slippers, well, it's hard to say, Snorlax slippers on BuzzSumo to see, the social traffic around the internet. But one of the things that I wanted to highlight here is, so there are multiple websites like this. So Shut Up and Take My Money is only one website. Maybe you're looking at wish.com. Maybe you're looking at eBay. Maybe you're looking at any number of different things. Shut Up and Take My Money is just one that I've used in the past. And so another cool little way that we can kind of take Shut Up and Take My Money and find similar websites to it is a website called SimilarWeb, which is, a very creative name, obviously, because we're trying to find similar websites. So there is a ton of information here. If you're trying to look at things for marketing and things like that, it gives you a global rank, a traffic overview. It shows you where the website traffic is from by country. What we are going to focus on right now, though, is competitors. So we do see that Shut Up and Take My Money has competitors, right? So Coolest Gadgets is one. Some of these are not as relevant, right? YouTube, obviously. Shit You Can Afford is a great one, right? This Is Why I'm Broke. Procrastination. Cool Things. So a ton of these websites that I personally would never think about actually visiting to do, product research on unless I used SimilarWeb. So let's take a look at some of these actual websites. And I've never looked at any of these before, so maybe they're going to be terrible, but maybe they're going to be good. So we're going to type in Shit You Can Afford. Take a look at Coolest Gadgets. So this has, kind of a Hero 6. This isn't necessarily a great one because electronics isn't something that I would want to personally get into, so we're going to close that one out. Shit You Can Afford, right? Honest T-shirts. If we're looking at T-shirts, if you are interested in merch by Amazon, you can look at Teespring. There's always inspiration for the best-selling T-shirts on a variety of different, like Shopify, Teespring websites. You can look at these type of things, right? An LED valve cap, only $2.28 via Amazon. You can actually buy ladybugs via Amazon. I do remember that. Rainbow flame crystals, right? So a lot of these products would be so difficult to think about unless you actually kind of had the inspiration of seeing them from these types of websites. So fire starter kits, shot glass roulette, tons of different things that you can get inspiration from and do product research from. This is why I'm broke.com. I've actually visited, I think I've actually bought something from this is why I'm broke.com. They have like ridiculous things that you'd never even think about. Like I think you can buy like $20,000 mech suits to make you look like Iron Man. But again, tons of different stuff here to take a look at. And you don't necessarily only have to look at this in the context of Amazon, right? So grow your own marijuana seeds. Obviously, this would be a gated category on Amazon, but it would be something that would be more perfect for a drop shipping website, right? Or a Shopify website, or if you're even making a simple ClickFunnels landing page, sales page to sell these and manually fulfill the orders, or you could use like Zapier or Orderlytics to fulfill those orders on ClickFunnels. And so the whole point of all of this is to kind of get the cogs moving. So I think a lot of you out there are kind of starting to realize how interesting these websites can be, right? And so when you find a website that you are interested in, like This Is Why I'm Broke or Shut Up and Take My Money, you can use SimilarWeb to actually go ahead and find websites that are similar, like this ultra telephoto zoom lens for $26,000. Right? It's a great deal, and you can see based on how many saves that people have on thisiswhyimbroke.com the overall interests of the overall product itself. Right? This is a hilarious one right here for a gag gift, right? Embarrassing prank shipping box. You can send this to somebody as a gift, right? And then just not wrap it, and when they open it up, maybe their husband or wife opens it up, and it's a hilarious kind of little situation. Fetish coloring book. A lot of these would be perfect gag gifts. So I hope that was interesting. I use this all the time, right? Gifts for men, gifts for women. We can, kind of parlay this into Mother's Day, Father's Day. Maybe it's a Christmas specific gift, and we can use camel to kind of evaluate seasonality, and as well as Google Trends to evaluate seasonality to make sure that the gag gift is selling all year round. Obviously, gag gifts and gifts in general are going to have spikes during the holiday season, but these websites are absolutely fantastic for kind of getting the creative juices flowing as far as unique product research. All right, guys, so the next tip that I want to go through is actually Pinterest. So a lot of us have heard about Pinterest, but there are some actual cool ways that you can use Pinterest to do specifically product research. And so what we can do actually is just type in products, or even just, product. And let's see what comes up. So immediately, right, we get some kind of artsy stuff, which would be perfect for, Facebook advertising. We see a bookshelf, very cleverly designed bookshelf. And, some of the things that we want to take a look at here are, the number of pins, right? And so the number of repins. So we see 2.3 thousand. It does actually order your what shows up by the number of repins and popularity, right? So things that are trending, they have their own algorithm, because obviously from Pinterest perspective, the more you click and the more you stay on the website, the more money they make, and so they want to show you the most interesting things as deemed most interesting from other people. So this is a really cool one that I've never really thought about before. So let's go on Amazon and see if that even exists. So what is that even called? Skull fireplace logs. So we're going to type in skull fireplace logs. So we do see that so there is one. It's not Prime, right, which is a huge factor. Obviously, if somebody's going to pay $80 for a human fire pit skull, and there's 93 reviews, which means that people are actually buying it, right? $225 is absolutely crazy. So we do see that there are some sales here, right? $10,000 a month with 93 reviews, only a 4 out of 5 star rating, and not Prime eligible. So, the very first one that I thought was interesting, we can cross-reference it on Amazon FBA. We can take a look to see, if there's any Shopify sites, if we search kind of the same phrase into Google and see what comes up. So that was the Amazon listing that we just looked at. So we do see the Awesomer, right, which is probably some type of, Shopify site. Let's take a quick look. Right, so yeah, so it's the same exact picture that we just saw actually on Pinterest. So they're just taking it straight from there for $65, cheaper than Amazon, right? So again, this could be a drop shipping item, and it could be a great Amazon FBA item because it's it's gag gift. It piques people's interest, right? You can advertise on PPC for just fireplace logs, artificial fireplace logs, carbon fireplace logs, all the different types of keywords for it, right? And we do see some sustained demand from Amazon. If there's 93 reviews, that means people are buying it, right? If there's people commenting and there's things being written about these specific items, again, this is the exact same picture, then you could see that people might be actually interested in it, right? So, and that was just the very first product that we actually looked at. So let's go back to Pinterest really quick. Some blackout curtains, very beautiful, right? This would be a very visually stunning kind of image to sell via Facebook ads. We could take a look at blackout curtains on Amazon, right? Perfect vegetable slicer. We see like a kitchen rack, like a rollable kitchen rack. A lot of things, again, to kind of get the creative juices flowing, which is the point of all of this, right? So this is a beautiful thing. I could actually use this right here. Wall decor idea, install a paper roll holder to create, your kind of like whiteboard, excuse me, to-do list type thing. We see, multiple scissors to be able to mince vegetables, kind of sectioned off frying pans to cook multiple things. I could actually use this. I'll probably literally buy this after I finish this video that I'm doing for you guys. And so again, so really cool items that we found from Pinterest, and some other ways that we can actually kind of narrow this down even further that a lot of people don't use and know about that I use all the time on Pinterest is all pins. Instead of actually having the default checked, we can go to buyable pins. So buyable pins actually, excuse me, makes it a little bit more product centric, what people are actually selling. And we can tell, again, from the number of repins how interested people are before we make that initial investment, right? So please stay seated for the entire performance, kind of a novelty type poster or, bathroom decor. The perfect vegetable slicer, 2 words, 1 finger. Kind of a play on 2 girls, 1 cup, probably, for those of you who know that. I don't actually know what that is. I don't even know what I was thinking just then. Heart-shaped double wall glass tea mug, right? So heart-shaped for the tea mug, very good idea. 28,000 repins. Obviously a ton of interest here. I'm probably going to save that one for my own reasons to potentially get in there, right? So a cute little penguin as kind of a hanging planter, lit, right? Zen AF. So kind of the gag play on kind of the Zen life, like meditation type niche. Moon lamps, again, very popular on Pinterest. So we're just looking through these, and in about 5 minutes, we're able to see a ton of different products that have a ton of different social proof, proven social proof, and all we have to do, guys, is cross-reference these on Amazon.com, see what's there, see what the sales are like, see if there's an opportunity. We can look on Google to see if there's Shopify sites that are already created for these. We can look on Google Trends for the keywords to see the popularity and the sustained popularity. So these are very good ways, and I think a lot of you guys out there are starting to realize how what we can actually do to be able to find products using Pinterest. And so one last thing that I like to do for Pinterest is use their kind of autofill. So if we put in products, right, it's kind of a little bit generic. So we can put products to sell. We can put products for men, right? If we have already kind of a line in place and we want to advertise for specific people, so maybe we could put products to sell. And this is more kind of info, but if we just stick with our products, then we can put, cool, because it kind of gives us these prompts, right? So now we're only seeing cool products. So these are like cactus candles, leaf like grips, which is actually hilarious. Look, and so this is actually from Shut Up and Take My Money, like we looked at before. So it's kind of all interconnected, guys. So these are kind of make your own drawers, which is actually a really interesting idea that I'm definitely going to save as well for later. This is a great way for a handle for a door, right? And so these are perfect products to take a look at. And we can even do more stuff. So if maybe we have a company that focuses on teens or women or that are awesome to buy, or maybe we're only looking for cool products for the home, we can continue to take Pinterest auto suggestions here, and now all of a sudden we have a plug that pops up like that out of nothing, which is amazing, right? We can look at these custom built countertops or these diffusers, or maybe we have the stag kind of plug inserts or a hanging bookshelf, right? So all of these items and all of these different products, it would be very difficult to think about these unless we use these hacks. So use Pinterest, guys. Again, just type in products. If you want to do large products, small products for teens, women's products for Christmas, maybe it's Mother's Day. And then again, you can look an additional narrower down to buyable pins. So use Pinterest, guys. I've used it to find a ton of very profitable products. All right, guys, so the last thing that we are going to talk about is how to do product research specifically for Q4. If you are a new seller on Amazon FBA, you may not know, but Q4 is generally where serious Amazon sellers do about 50% of their revenue. If you think about that, right, 25% of the year doing 50% of your revenue or more is a big deal, right? So Q4 is when everybody goes crazy. Amazon hires a ton of more people, right, to come in and help fulfill orders, and so it's a very important time. And so there are Amazon sellers out there who are killing it, specifically only selling products during Q4. And so it's very important to think about. And it is October 6th right now, and so we are going into Q4 right now. And I, luckily enough, have been around for a Q4 or two in the past, and so I understand kind of the craze about it and how to go about doing product research for it. So let's use the same little hack that we were talking about before, using kind of a single word specific to the niche we're trying to look at, and we're going to see what we find from merchant words. So we're in the US right now. If you are in the UK or any different Amazon region, you can use the different ones. I found though that they're actually generally pretty similar, and so I usually just use the US because it is the most extensive. So you see Christmas lights, Christmas, right? Christmas ornaments. A lot of these things obviously are very, kind of Christmas centric, not to state the obvious. So let's just choose one. All right, let's just do Christmas cards. So we're just going to type in Christmas cards here. And we see a number of different ones. And so if we run Jungle Scout, right, it's not necessarily close enough to Christmas in October now to see huge sales numbers, but this is the type of product that you'd expect to see as basically as seasonal as it possibly gets, right? And so if we were to run Google Trends here, I would expect it to be very exactly like this, right? So 100%. Right, during December of 2004, December of 2005, right? And so it's gone down a little bit because e-cards have become more prominent and things like that, which is, something very interesting to look at and think about. But, just for our example, this works for anything, whether it's Christmas stockings, Christmas pajamas, Christmas, cookies, gingerbread houses, anything associated with Christmas, right? So get creative, but we're just using this example kind of to show you the tools available to you. Google Trends is a great one. Jungle Scout is a great one. But we want to take one of these products. Let's just take the one that seems like it's been around the longest, right? Has the most reviews here. So we're going to click on this one. We're going to grab the ASIN here, and it's after the / detail page / and then it has the ASIN. A lot of times it begins with a B. It's kind of a 8-digit or 10-digit alphanumeric sequence. So you can find it in the URL here. Excuse me. And we're going to go to camel, camel, camel. So what camel, camel, camel is it, and for those of you who haven't used it, I know it's a ridiculous name, but, when you're a software developer and you're smart as heck, you can name things whatever you want. So we're going to plug in that ASIN that we just copy and pasted from this actual listing right here into camel, camel, camel. And now we can see a few things. So we can see that they generally price about the same at $12.95. Except for, right before Christmas, they actually jumped up to $53 for this, which is crazy. But what we're mainly concerned with here is the sales rank. So we're going to look at sales rank here, and this is exactly what we would expect to see. So what this chart is representing is BSR. And for those of you who don't know, BSR is bestseller rank. It is how Amazon organizes all of its different products across all of its different subcategories. And so the lower number of the BSR means the higher sales, right? So if you are number 1 on BSR, you are literally the best seller in the whole ranking system, right? So you can see right here that during, right before December, leading up to December, kind of starting after, in the end of October, it's really jumping up here, and then it kind of starts to fade throughout the year, and then again, we can see it jump straight up, starts to fade, jumps straight up. So for the past 3 years, we can see very sustained demand. So if we wanted to get into this specific niche, we could feel very comfortable that this is going to jump up incredibly for 1 month of the year, right? Or maybe a month or 2, depending on how much of this lead up you want to get into. We can see that their bestseller rank got actually up to 29th. Right, when we see that their worst was all the way down to almost 80,000th on the bestseller rank. So it's an incredible jump. So this would be a product that we'd feel pretty comfortable with investing in specifically for Q4. And kind of the last way that I like to do kind of Q4 research is utilizing the Jungle Scout app. And so what I like to do here is I select everything, right? We're in the US market. There's a few things that I like to actually exclude. Books, right? There's a lot of Christmas books, and I'm not particularly interested in getting into the book niche. Amazon has been notorious for driving those prices as low as possible for the end customer, which is really all they care about. And so I'm not interested in getting into books, and I'm not interested in getting into clothing because clothing has multiple sizes, right? Holding a bunch of different SKUs, and the return rate is obviously higher for online clothing sales because people don't know whether or not it fits. So we're going to exclude these two. We're going to set a few other things, right? Like we talked about before, we like to set our price for about $12.98 just because $13 is about the lowest that you want to sell a product for. $12.98 gives you a few more products. We want to have estimated revenue. We want it to be 5,000 or greater. We want our reviews to be no higher, right? The maximum amount of reviews to be 50. The rating, we want that to be 4 stars or lower, so the maximum there is 4.01, which means that there's some room for improvement that we can actually, maybe add value in a place where other people might not be. And then the listing quality, right? So listing quality is basically an algorithm that Jungle Scout uses, factoring in the quality of the title, bullet points, photos, and description. So we want it to be about 75%, right? So, about a C average, so that there's room for improvement for us to improve that listing through, better written copy or, high definition pictures or some way that we can actually add value to the listing itself. So we're gonna look at standard size, oversized, and fulfilled by Amazon being the seller, and fulfilled by merchant. And most importantly, guys, we're going to put in Christmas here. So search keywords Christmas, right? And so we're going to click search. And so then once this fun gear stops turning, it will give us all 50 results, right? And we're going to organize these by reviews. So we're taking a look here. We see a star shower, LED cork lights, USB rechargeable wine bottle, right? LED projector, Halloween lights, which is interesting. So that they must be, both targeting Halloween and Christmas, and Mr. Christmas. So this looks like an interesting one. So let's take a look. So this product looks like it projects Santa or something into the window, but well, so it looks like they're also doing it for Halloween. Okay, so they have 6 Halloween and 12 fully animated videos with sound for Christmas, right? So this is kind of something that maybe people would be interested in if they have a lot of trick-or-treaters or people who walk by their house, or they want to show off their Christmas lights or something like that, right? So let's take this ASIN and let's take a look. So we're gonna plug this into Camel again. Brings up the product here. And let's take a look at the sales rank. And so we'd expect to see something similar with kind of the troughs for December, right? So this one's been around for 2 years, and as we can see, right, it's fluctuating some, but we do see a definite climb as we get closer to December to raise that BSR all the way up to, it looks like 9,434, worst being 264,000, right? So a huge jump. And then again, we see it kind of fluctuating, and again, once December kind of starts creeping up, we see it all the way back up. So that is how I like to do product research for Christmas, right? You can do keyword comparison where you're looking at merchant words for complementary items. You can look at Jungle Scout, and you can play around with all of these, right? These are all very specific. We could literally just do 5,000 for revenue, 50 for reviews, and nothing else, right? And search, and just have Christmas be the quantifier. And all of a sudden now we have more stuff to look at, right? So oil lamps, countdown to Christmas, advent calendar, right? Advent calendars are great. I had those when I was a kid. Halloween barn dance, night before Christmas, full-size posable hanging character, right? So a ton of different things to take a look at here. And as we can see, right, 6,000 revenue, 12,000 revenue a month. And this is a snapshot as it is now, right? So we'd want to take a look at all of these, and we'd want to run them in Camel. We'd want to run them in Google Trends just to ensure that they are doing those crazy Q4 numbers that we would be after. All right, guys, so last but not least, we are going to go over the answer to the quiz from earlier. So hopefully you guys actually commented and made your guess. It's really important to kind of evaluate these things before hearing the opinion of someone with a ton of experience, right? Because then you can kind of validate your thoughts, and it's just helpful as far as product research goes. So the very first one that we're going to go over is the nursing pillow and positioner. So what we're going to use here is the Ninja product research checklist. And so what this is basically the culmination of a lot of different experience that I've had going through product research, sourcing a ton of different products. What is important to kind of evaluate out of a 100 point score, what is the most important factors from a profitability perspective when we are dealing with sourcing new products. So I already went ahead and filled this out because I didn't want to sit there and make you guys go through all of it for 20 minutes. So we can go over it really quickly. So it sells at least 10 products a day, right? So we looked at Jungle Scout. Obviously, it does sell 10 products a day. Top 3 related keywords have over 50,000 monthly searches on Amazon merchant words. Yes, indeed it does, right? Many of them actually have 50,000 or more. As we can see, 137,000, right? Derivative keywords for main keywords, right? So think like garlic press versus jumbo garlic press or stainless steel garlic press. So we do see, aside from just nursing pillow, we see pillow covers, case, insert, set, right? All of these different derivative keywords, meaning that there's going to be enough keywords that we can target from a PPC perspective to, have a profitable campaign. All the PPC spots are used. This is actually a no, right? So we only see 2 here. We do see the headline, but not the side ads. So that's a 0 out of 1. It's not a huge factor, but it does take away from our perfect score. No legal issues, no trademarks related to brand name, right? So people are not necessarily only searching Boppy, which is the most the highest popularity brand, but people are definitely searching Boppy, but we don't have to put the brand name for it to have the searches, right? And so an example of that might be like a Kevlar vest, right? So Kevlar is trademarked, the word itself, right? And so people are normally searching Kevlar because it has become synonymous with the product itself, similar to how people say, yeah, I'm going to Google that, or I made a Xerox of that, right? So really what they mean is a photocopy, but when the product itself has become synonymous with the trademark, right, it is important to stay away from those keyword specific trademarked search terms, right? So that's not an issue here. 50% of the products listed in the first 5 pages have less than 100 reviews. Yes. Ensure no famous brands in the top 3, right? So this is kind of an objective one. Boppy is a reasonably famous brand, but it's not something, like household, like KitchenMaid or something like that. So we're going to go with yes, there are no famous brands. 2 to 3 products have less than 50 reviews on the first page. Yep. First 3 items have less than 400 reviews. This was actually a no. And when we say the first 3 items, we always exclude the sponsored. So we do see that the first 2 items have 832, 629, but then it drops pretty drastically. Product is not restricted on Amazon, right? So I always recommend that people chat with Amazon seller support just to make sure that you don't kind of end up in a situation where you're sourcing, lockpick sets that look great from Jungle Scout numbers, or some of the magnets, the little magnets that people use as kind of toys, look amazing on Jungle Scout from a numbers perspective, but they are restricted on Amazon. So I always recommend, take an ASIN from one of the competitors, right? So just grab the ASIN from this guy. Go over to Amazon seller support and tell them, hey, is this ASIN specifically restricted or for a new seller or for whatever type of seller you are, right? I want to make sure that I don't source it and then I'm not able to sell it. Get it in writing from seller support, which is why I recommend doing it via chat. Is there potential to bundle products, right? So could you bundle maybe the top 10 uses of a sleep positioner, right? Maybe this is the best way to position a baby after dinner, or, if he's crying or whatever the case may be, or maybe you bundle it with, some type of baby blanket or, a head positioner or some type of thing. I'm not very knowledgeable about babies quite yet, so I don't know, but those are just kind of the first things that come to mind. So yes, we're going to put there. Average product price between $14 and $150. Are you able to brand and label it better than the competition? I put no here, right, because they do have pretty nice, packaging and things like that, and they do a good job as from a branding perspective. Is it giftable? Yeah. Ability to expand your brand with related products. Obviously, definitely in this case with babies, right? There's a billion products out there for babies, and parents are, probably the best target market as far as willing to spend money on their babies. It is the most important thing to them possible, right? And so it's probably the best market you could possibly have. This product is not easily purchased at a local big box store. Could you go to Walmart and buy a nursing pillow and positioner? Maybe, I don't know, but I would assume that it would be harder, or at least harder to just than clicking one button on Amazon. Product is simple and easy to use, simple and inexpensive to manufacture, and easy to source. I would think so, yeah. Lightweight, this one is close, right? Because I looked at this first one here. And if you just Control F for weight, we can see that it's 2.8 pounds, right? So I like to have products, on the light side under, 2 pounds, but 2 to 3 pounds, and 3 pounds being kind of the very upper echelon threshold that you don't really want to cross. And so we're going to put yes there. Simple item, it's not fragile or breakable, definitely not. 40% or more above profit margin, including shipping, right? So I went ahead and got quotes from some of my sourcing agents, and got a few quick quotes from people on Alibaba and 1688 as far as the product price, right? And I did calculate that it would be 40% or more from the profit margin perspective, so we're going to put 5 there for yes. An ability to source 100 to 500 for a test, send shipping label barcodes to a supplier, and have them shipped to Amazon. Basically, this is saying, is it possible to source from Alibaba or a similar competitor? And the answer is yes, of course. So we're going to Oh, and select the best compromise between speed and cost while avoiding costly and time-consuming border delays with customs. Right, so this is just kind of a note for you, right? So there's not really a score here. It's just kind of a something that you want to think about. So I should update that. So that's just a kind of a note. So out of 100 then, what is our final score? It is a 92. And so I walked through this one with you guys kind of just to show you kind of the thought process behind all of this. A 92 is a very good score, right? If it's less than 50, it's kind of a go ahead and move on, because you just don't want to have the trouble of dealing with trademarks, or maybe there's too many reviews on page 1, or there's not enough keywords for PPC, or any number of things, right? Doing this score takes all of that guesswork out, guys, and this is the very first time that I've actually released this on YouTube, and it is going to be very helpful for people just because it really simplifies the product research process, which can be kind of complicated, especially if you are a beginner, right? So if it's between 50 and 70, it could be a good opportunity. Maybe it requires a little bit more research on camel, Google Trends, right? I always recommend doing iTrack, kind of walking through the 6 steps of product research, which I do share with all of my students, really makes it bulletproof, guys. That's really the only way that you can take out all of the guesswork and know for sure, right, as close to for sure as it's possible to get, right, barring that a tornado just destroys your factory after you already paid for it and then you lost your money, right? As sure as you can possibly get that you are going to get a home run product, right? And if you have over 70, it's a good opportunity. So we're sitting very pretty here with a 92 out of 100. And so I'm going to quickly pause the video and update our other product that we were looking at, which is the liner, as we see here. And then we're going to compare the 92 and reveal the answer to the quiz. And if you haven't already, ninjas, make sure you click that subscribe button. And if you want to be up to date on all of the new That Lifestyle Ninja videos on how to make money online, click those notification bells. And I want you to do one last thing. Go down below and leave a comment saying I subscribe, so I know that you guys are all in on making money on the internet. Alright guys, and finally the answer to the quiz, right? So we're not going to go through all of them individually, but let's go through the ones that Word knows, right? So derivative keywords for main keywords, there's not a lot of other ways to say diaper, pail, liner, refill, right? There's biodegradable, and there's a little wiggle room, but there's not as much as there was for the other one. All the PPC spots are used, absolutely not. There's literally, I actually don't see any PPC used, which is strange. So the next no would be first 3 items that have less than 400 reviews, right? So we do see 490, 838. The next no is potential to bundle products, right? You could get clever here and bundle something, but when somebody's trying to buy diaper pail liners, right, they're not looking for an ebook on the best way to clean up poop or something like that. I mean, I don't think. I'm actually not sure, but I would assume no. Are you able to brand it and label it better than the competition or add value with premium packaging? I don't think people care that much about the packaging for diaper pail liners, right? This is a commodity. It's definitely year-round, which is a very good thing as far as selling products, but just for this specific one, it's definitely a no for that, Simon. Is it giftable, right? So every year for my birthday, actually the #1 thing I ask for from my mom is diaper liners. Actually, no, it's not. And if anybody gives this to me as a gift ever, I'll be sincerely upset. So nobody send me this if you're watching this video. Just kidding. Actually, I need some diaper pail liners. All right, and so that's all the no's. So we do see that the overall score here is an 82 out of 100, which is actually quite good, right? But it is not as good as the 92 out of 100 that we did find with that best top 10,000 selling products in the baby category sheet. Right, so if you guys are interested, I will include a link to the Ninja product research checklist where you can fill this out for yourself to get a great idea of whether or not a product is going to be a home run product, taking out a lot of the guesswork, right? All of my students out there, you know that the 6 steps of product research really takes out all of the rest of the guesswork, shows you for sure whether or not a product is going to be a home run. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. We looked at a bunch of brand new product research methods, right? I'm sharing it all with you guys for the very first time. We talked about how to do product research for products in Q4 and going into 2018, guys. So use all these products. Leave a comment below if you did like this video, and I promise you guys that we are going to continue coming out with the absolute best content, not only for Amazon FBA, but for everything online income. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, definitely make sure that you do click that subscribe button and turn notifications on so you see all of the absolute brand new Ninja content. So we'll definitely see you guys next time, and stay out there and get hustling. You make me